One of Door County's most special places is also one of the most remote spots in the county, and is home to Wisconsin's oldest lighthouse, an incredible stone boathouse, and some amazing hiking and backpack camping opportunities. That place is Rock Island State Park. I'm your host, Jon Jarosh for Explore the Door, and today we're about to learn all about it. If someone wants to come and visit Rock Island, how do they get here?
It takes normally 2 ferries. It takes a car ferry to Washington Island. It takes a passenger ferry called Carfee to get from Jackson Harbor on Washington Island over to Rock Island.
The Carfee began service in 1967. So we take 49 passengers, that's the maximum load, campers as well as hikers and day visitors.
We don't let cars out here. We don't even have bicycles out here, so everybody is on foot. When you arrive on Rock Island, the first thing you probably are going to see is the grand Boathouse or Viking Hall. Chester Thordarson built that.
He was an industrialist, manufactured and invented electrical products. He was also a foremost bibliophile, collector of books, and collected over 10,000 volumes, many of them rare, which now are with the University of Wisconsin. But he also was owner and developer of Rock Island from 1910 through 1945. The Boathouse, called it the jewel of the lake.
Now this is a fireplace.
Thordarson was Icelandic by birth, but I think it's a mistake to say that his buildings had Icelandic influence. I think if anything, they show somewhat of a Mediterranean influence. A massive stone using natural materials.
Over on the east side, there's the early water tower. It's a stone water tower with probably a 12-foot by 12-foot tank inside of it with an observation deck on the top. The thing does have a fireplace built into it, kind of a neat little spot. It never was used, but it was the first stone structure that he built before he abandoned that side of the island in favor of the more sheltered waters of the west side.
Thordarson died in 1945. The Thordarson family sold the island to the state of Wisconsin in 1964, and it was sold with the intention of becoming a state park.
And has remained so ever since.
Tell us about the cemeteries that you have here in the park.
The southern one is down in the campground. Chester Thordarson is buried there. Up by the lighthouse, we call it the Lighthouse Cemetery. David Corbin, who was the first lighthouse keeper on the island, is buried there. We have thousands of people come from all over the United States and the world to see the lighthouse. Tours are free, staffed by volunteers. They give you the history of the lighthouse, show you the whole lighthouse, let you go all the way up into the lantern room so you can look out over Lake Michigan.
Well, if you get over to Rock Island, I highly encourage you to make sure to include a stop at Potawatomi Lighthouse. The view from the lantern room up here, incredible.
Rock Island is listed as 912 acres. It's a real clean environment, 10 miles of hiking trails. Of course, it's a real popular place for kayakers and canoers and boaters. One of my favorite trails is the Fernwood Trail that cuts through the center of the island. The northern 3/4 of Rock Island is uncut. It's old growth forest. It's protected as a state natural area. They're pretty easy to walk, but that one is a little more strenuous because it's got a little more elevation through the hollows of the center part of the island.
If you're planning to camp on Rock Island, you'll want to bring pretty much everything you need with you. The closest campsites are half a block from the dock, and the farthest ones are half a mile or more away. All campsites are reservable, and reservations are highly recommended, especially during the busy summer months.
We've got some carvings. We aren't sure who did them. They're carvings of Indians. At the present time, they're accessible on dry land. If the water comes up much higher, you're going to have to wade to see them. We assume that they were done by Thordarson's employees, some probably in the 1930s. Really don't know.
While a vast majority of the folks that visit Rock Island State Park are gone before the sun goes down, those lucky few that decide to camp can enjoy some quality campfire time by the lake.
It's also a wonderful place to lay down and look at the night sky. You'll see shooting stars, satellites, and the Milky Way like you've never seen before. Yes, a real celestial treat awaits those who spend the night here.
Well, there's nothing quite like ending a great Door County day in a tent here on Rock Island State Park. The journey to get here, which includes 2 ferry rides, is definitely worth the trip, and I highly encourage you to get out here to check out this particular park next time you're in Door County. Well, I'm your host, Jon Jarosh, and until next time, I hope you can get out here to explore the door.